No, it's a she. What are the truck's pronouns?
Okay, that's too much. That's not good. That's not making the video. She's here. Now that she's home, I thought I would give you guys a quick tour of the truck so you can see the condition that it's currently in. We'll talk about all that we're gonna do to her. We'll talk about sort of our project plan. We'll give you the scoop of all the products that we bought. Well, most of the products that we bought. And you guys let us know down below what you guys think. I thought it would be good to show you guys sort of the condition that she's in. I'm gonna look underneath the hood.
That's stove bolt 6.
It's a straight 6, and it is, I'm sorry to say, numbers matching. And the only reason I say I'm sorry to say is because we don't plan on keeping this. But the good news is, if you want it, it'll be for sale really
the frame.
soon. With the frame.
Which has never been wrecked.
Never been wrecked.
So if you're looking to put something original, this is your chance, boys and girls.
Yes. But yeah, apparently it does run. So it doesn't run for us currently because we think it needs a new starter. We think the battery might be dead and it would need some gas. But since we're doing a whole rebuild anyway, we figured, why do that? So here's a look inside. Obviously, the paint is not in perfect condition, but I will say for a patina, it patinaed really nicely. My husband likes to think, he thinks it's cool that someone put his arm here and sweated in here. I personally think that's absolutely disgusting, but you know, that's the difference between men and women. These are rusted through. That's actually pretty common. These things always rust through, but
what happens is the water comes through these seals that are prehistoric, as you can see right here. And there is no seal, so the water had to go somewhere and it just sat right there. Thankfully, those are very easy to replace and very common on these trucks. That's the only rust on this truck other than this right here, that cab corner.
yes.
Period. And that little spot right there. This whole little door. But other than that, this truck is really solid.
So there's a lot of cosmetic work that we need to do. In addition to the seals that were just mentioned, all of these windows need to be replaced. Just personal preference.
Felt, rubbers.
Felts, rubbers, yes. Come on inside. Unfortunately, because the seals are not in good condition, it did get water in here, so the carpet absolutely reeks.
Even though it's new carpet.
Shout out to Forever Sharp for getting us these because they smell amazing. But overall, the cab is not in horrible condition. It's not in great condition. There's a little bit of rust up here, so we're gonna have to do a lot of interior cosmetic work. Yeah, this is all rusted through.
Right there.
And then all of this, which not sure how we're gonna fix this yet, but we'll get creative and we'll find out. There's no rear view mirror. There will be, of course. And then this thing feels like flimsy cardboard.
And that's not gonna block much sun.
No, not at all. It is, I don't know how to drive a stick, but of course, since we're doing the swap anyway, that's gonna go. And the other thing that's kind of quirky is this thing does not close.
Oh, we have the part for that.
So we're gonna have to fix that as well. But overall, I mean, for being 70 years old.
Here, let me see this door. This door's pretty solid.
Yeah, the door's pretty solid. Nothing a little fresh coat of paint can't cover.
Got a brand new seat in this truck too.
Wrap all of this. It will end up being really nice in here.
And the gun rack has to stay.
The gun rack has to stay. I'm a Texas girl, love to shoot skeet. So yeah, that's gonna stay. Overall though, it really is in pretty good condition. Honestly, there's a big gash right here.
Yeah, somebody decided to upgrade to a 8-track player. Yikes.
I don't even know what an 8-track player is, you guys. Never actually seen one. Bunch of holes. We're gonna have to replace a bunch of buttons, but overall, I'm very encouraged with the state of the interior. The coolest part about this truck is the spotlight right here. We think this might have been like a trooper truck or state ranger.
And it does work.
It actually does work. So when we do have the power on, it'll turn on and off, but I definitely am gonna keep that. One thing that we're considering doing, and I would love to know y'all's opinion, is these old cars have a really cool feature that you put the key in, but you start it with this pedal down here. So you put your foot on it. Once the key's in the ignition, you put your foot on and it starts. So we're thinking about keeping that as like an old school ode to the new school push to start.
It is a push to start.
It is technically push to start. Should we keep it? Should we not? What do you guys think? Let me know down below. So I did toy around with the idea of maybe cutting this into a short bed frame, but that just seems so sacrilegious. This thing is clean. It's 70 years old. You don't see a ton of them, so why would I chop it up? So I decided not to. So Long Bed is here to say, boys and girls, the bed of the truck is not in good shape. The original wood, I think, is still under here.
The slats are there.
The slats are here. So I do have a friend, a buddy.
We will be doing a brand new wood bed for this truck.
I think is gonna cut me up some fresh wood.
Put some stainless strips through there.
So
that'll look really nice. But like, I mean, you guys know, excuse my vacuum, had to put it somewhere. But I mean, look at the bed. Like, it's really not bad. Like, for a 3/4 ton, it's not beat all up. I mean, these are usually all rusted out. Not bad. I mean, this truck is solid.
Everyone keeps asking me, what color are you gonna paint it? You guys, I gotta get this thing running before I can even think about color. Let me tell you something. I went to Redneck Rumble. This guy had, probably no joke, 500 license plates. And so, I'm a saleswoman. And I was like, I'm gonna haggle this guy down the price. But guess what? When I went to find the 59, there was one tag.
Hard to haggle.
So hard to haggle when they have one left. So had to pay full price, but look at it. It's original. And it is registered as my official tag. If you want to know how to do that, go follow me on Instagram. I have a whole reel on there telling you how to do that. So the other really cool thing about these trucks is on modern trucks, these things are made of plastic and they're glued on. Not in the 50s. This thing is pure solid chrome, first of all, and you can't tell, but they are bolted into the frame. So then people say they don't make things like they used to.
I don't make them like I used to.
Your grandpa
So
was
stand
right.
up, Boomer. You're right on that.
Yeah, your grandfather was right. They do not make it like they used to. And it is so rare, in fact, with these front ones, we tried to find a replacement because these are sort of fading out and we're gonna paint them in. And we were sort of nervous about doing it, so we're like, let's see if we can find a replacement just in case to sort of practice on. There was literally, I'm not exaggerating, one on the internet. But to be fair, we do have the 3600, which is much more rare.
They don't make repops of these.
So there was one. So we snagged them up. The 59 was the year that they did this badge instead of the shark fin, which I do like the shark fin, but I do think that these are really cool. That's
Said shark fin.
In a minute, I'm gonna need it.
But definitely maybe.
Anyway, today we're going to talk about this build. We're going to talk about what we plan on doing, the steps we're going to take, the parts that we've ordered, everything from start to finish. So first things first, we toyed around for a long time about what we're going to do about the frame. Just so you guys know, this is and I hate to say it, if you're an originalist, please mute the screen for 2 seconds. It is the original numbers matching everything. So, whoops. And
it runs and has a new clutch.
It does, and so many people watching this would be so ashamed to know that we plan on...
I'm sorry, boomers.
Yeah,
I'm not
sit down,
sorry.
boomers. Anyway, but just for me personally, I just feel like I want to go faster than 40 miles per hour. The good news is, if you're one of those people and you're like, why could you do that? It will be for sale after this build.
Reach out to me. It runs
subscribe,
great.
like, subscribe if you're interested in having it.
Motor, trans, numbers matching, frame.
Anyways, we're going to get to all that. So we've made the decision that we are going to have to do something to the frame because we do want to put an LS motor in it. So we toyed around a lot. Should we do a full frame swap? Should we just do a front clip? And we really did a lot of research because there's pros and cons to each.
Right.
The pro on the front clip, obviously it's going to be a little bit easier. We can maintain some of the original parts.
Cheaper.
A little bit cheaper.
Mustang 2 front ends are everywhere, or Camaro front clips.
But on the negative side, we'd have to chop up a frame and get up in there.
We're still going to have a frame that's 2 I-beams, you know, and they weren't made for crash compact, as well as a little more modern day frame.
So yeah, so then we said, okay, well, what if we just did a full frame swap? What would that look like? So we started pulling around with that, and come to find out,
We went to the deep internet and found
the
out
dark archives. There's not a lot of content out there on these 59 rebuilds. So,
but thanks to the Stovebolt forum, I found a link for a bolt-in frame swap kit out of a guy in Minnesota. It's called Easy Chassis, and that has been a game changer. You take a C10 from 73 to 87 frame, cut 9 inches out of it, bolt in all these parts, bada bing, bada boom, down the road.
So he finds this frame kit that he's describing, and we're like, okay, that sounds great. So now can we find a long bed frame that will work?
We need a gearbox.
Yeah.
We need a rear end.
So there was a lot there. So we were like, okay, can we find this?
This is gonna get expensive
Well,
quick.
come to find out This is where community comes in clutch, you guys. We're talking with one of our buddies from the C10 Club. You guys will see him all throughout, trust me. His name is Josh. And we were telling him about this kit that Michael found. And we said, but now we just need to try to find a long bed frame, a C10 long bed frame. And he's like, I know where one is. And we're like, no way, where?
It's a quarter mile from my house.
He's like, it's a quarter mile from my house. We're like, what? And it was another guy that we knew from the C10 community. So we called him up. We said, hey, would love to take that off your hands. He said, all right. And of course, we got the homie discount, if you know what I'm saying.
And not only did we get the frame, we got a 12-bolt rear end. We got the whole front end. The front suspension looks great. We got the gearbox. And this thing has already got the cab off. Like, this thing is literally ready to roll over to his house. So I couldn't have asked for anything better. Big shout out to Steven for the hookup.
So yes, this is a word to the wise. If you plan on getting into cars, if you plan on rebuilding anything,
make friends with people who hold on to junk.
Seriously, well,
it's
just make
junk.
friends with car people, because if you're a car person, you likely just collect junk for no reason. Like, you have nothing to build, you just like to collect things and buy things and
this one time,
accumulate things.
You were right.
So anyway, that would be my advice. So we found the frame. It's in great condition. It's better than we thought. And we're like, wow, this is really coming together.
So now we went from this simple build to a LS swap to a frame off restoration.
So once we decided we're gonna do a full frame swap, then we're like, okay, great. We knew we wanted to do an LS motor in it, so we'll talk about where we got the motor in a second. But really our plan of attack is, let's get the frame to Josh's shop, let's start building on top of it, and then when we're ready, we'll bring this beautiful baby to his shop, and take the body off. Just like that. How hard can it be? So, questions on the motor.
I wanted a 5.3 for this build. I did want a 6.2, but something and someone may guess $8 a gallon. So we don't want to be stuck with premium fuel. So we're going to do a 5.3 with a 4L60E, so we can literally run 87 or corn juice. And you know, if you know anything about these motors, starting after 07, you have AFM. AFM is not your friend, boys and girls. Okay, it's all fine and dandy when you have a factory warranty. It's not fine and dandy when you don't.
This is where this build gets fun, is that I really, in my naivete, thought, oh, this will be simple. You just put the new motor in, turn it on, good to go. Right? No. So as we get into this, I'm like, wow, we started listing out all the parts that we're gonna need. Our list got longer. So
yeah.
When I say we went on a rampage, I'm sure UPS, FedEx, Amazon is like, what is wrong with these people? We've had boxes upon boxes
every day.
upon pockets. Every single day.
They're not happy.
And it is wild.
And they're heavy boxes.
I think, fingers crossed, we have everything we need to get started.
Other than part store stuff, we've got everything.
So we're going to show you guys everything that we got, at least the highlights. Of course, as you can imagine, we probably bought 100 items for this thing. So we'll show you the cool stuff that you want to see. So let's talk mufflers. Now, this actually caused some tension in our marriage. My husband likes custom, he likes loud, he likes rah-rah. He likes when we go to the drive-thru and the people are like, sir, what? Huh?
You know when you guys are at the car show and every single person turns around and stares at you? I like that to be me.
I do not like that at all. So I said, this thing better be quiet. He said, I'm not buying you a silent muffler. I don't even think that exists. I said, I don't care. I just don't want it to be loud. So anyways, this is what we settled on.
We settled on some beautiful 5x9 stainless steel 3-inch center inlet, offset outlet, MagnaFlow mufflers. If any of y'all have any experience with MagnaFlow, they're definitely one of the best companies out there. Great sound. They're a little bit deeper sound, not necessarily as tinny or loud as like a single chamber. But once these things break in a couple hundred miles, they've really got a nice sound for a good V8.
So that's our muffler situation.
Stay in. My favorite part of every build, the headers. 1 3/4 Speed Engineering long tube stainless steel headers. Beautiful. These are really nice. Welds look pretty solid. Not a bad price either. So a lot of the guys have been running these Speed Engineering. So I'm hoping to have as good a luck with them as they are. Back to the exhaust. It's not gonna be loud, but it's not gonna be quiet All right, obviously the radiator that comes in this truck is not going to keep up with a LS, so we went with the 3-row aluminum radiator, electric fans. And next, I'm actually wearing their shirt right now, but from Little Shop Manufacturing, we did a rear disc brake conversion. And they have several different options available. I went ahead and splurged and got the red calibers because when in Rome. One of the most important things you're going to need for your LS swap is your harness. I cheated and bought a kit, wiring harness for the LS swap, fuses, everything. This baby's plug and play, so you choose what you want to do, but we're going to do that. I went ahead and splurged and got the good wiring kit. This truck is from '59. It's got a couple years on the wiring, so we're going to rewire the entire truck. I say entire truck, there's like 5 wires, not joking. So we got the painless performance wiring kit out of yours truly, Fort Worth, Texas. And guys, this wiring kit ain't no joke. I mean, the quality of the wires is really high. I mean, this fuse box is beautiful.
It's because it was made in Texas. We only do things right down there.
But yeah, this kit looks really nice. I'm sure this is going to be a great install. So
next up, the steering column. As much as I love the big old tractor wheel, and you know, it's gotta go. It's too big, it's too much, so we had to buy a whole new steering column. We would have had to anyway, but we decided to go with,
I wanted to put the column shifter on this truck because right now it's a manual and I didn't want a low car shifter. These trucks are a little small in the cab anyway, so want all the room we can get. So we had to end up buying a brand new steering column, 33-inch GM tilt. It's got billet handles, turn signals, and it's wired up and ready to rock and roll. So this should spice up the interior a little bit and make it a little more manageable. So
next up, the part I'm most excited to show you guys. The brand new cluster gauge that I got.
We found a company right here in the US, made in Michigan. They make really, really nice parts, and they got this one out to us pretty quickly. So y'all check this out. I love the classic needle look. And what's really cool is it's very similar, but subtly down here at the bottom, it even has an RPM gauge.
All right, you guys, thanks for hanging out with us. We are so excited to get started in this build, which we will start tomorrow, and we'll start showing the video next week. So if you want to watch this thing come to life, please, I beg you, like, subscribe, comment, tell your friends, share it. If you're in a car club, share it.
Unfollow, then follow again, then unfollow again, then follow back on your phone. It helps, guys.
I think you'll learn a thing or two, but we'll make sure we'll keep it fun, light, and entertaining.
And if you don't learn a thing or two and you know more than us, that's cool too. Tell me how we don't know anything.
Thank you guys so much. This was Baby Approved Rides. Until next week, we'll see you around.